Good evening and welcome to the Surfers Paradise Rugby Union Club, and this is the first of a panel of a couple of players who've been fortunate enough to do the hard work and get into the rep team. But please give them a big welcome. Guys, we've got hundreds here tonight. We miss you all, but come on down if you're... What's the time now? Nearly 6:30. Come on down, there's a couple of beers going. Look, probably one of the best things this season, and we've had a momentous 50th year, is to actually get two teams into the grand finals. So, you know, we'll get that out of the way. Give them a big hand, the third and the first. And that's the last we'll discuss of that event a few weeks ago. But firstly, Paddy, over to you. Now, you've been only here about 7 months altogether? 7 months, yeah. Great. Which club did you come from? How long were you playing for North Coast?
So, I played for North Coast Rugby Club.
Coach!
Up the coast, LTC. I did all my junior rugby through there. So, I started playing rugby when I was probably about 7 years old. Played all right through till about the first year of high school. Then I went to Rosmini College.
Hey!
Shout out Rosmini College. And then played Rosmini College, and then heaps of my mates went to a club that was affiliated with our high school. I decided to go back to my junior club, and then played through there. I played through probably about 4 years. Played probably about 60 caps. So got my blazer and all that. So I played through there, and then I decided to jump ship, go overseas, and I went to Spain for about 7 months, played season over there. Then got in contact with Lee, and then I was only home for about 10 days until I came over here.
So you've been here now just for the whole season, haven't you? From about February or something.
Yeah. So I probably arrived. Actually, it was actually a little bit silly because I arrived about a week before the season actually commenced. So. I mean, it was a little bit out of order trying to gauge your players and create relationships and create chemistry and all that off the field and on the field as well. Sure. But we jumped straight into the season, and then we gelled pretty well eventually.
A good year? Yeah. With all the lads?
Yeah, 100%, definitely a good year.
So you weren't really that surprised about Spain and Portugal in terms of rugby, you know, that if you worked
yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm some person who's travelled the world just to play rugby. I just wanted a little bit of change from NZ to Spain, then came from there a little bit static in Spain, and decided to liven up with some bit of common tongue and come over here. Then they just came over here, and it was honestly I would say moving to Gold Coast is probably one of the best moves of my life. So,
good on you. Well, hopefully we'll keep him there. Will we keep him here for a few more years? Okay, thanks. We'll keep coming backwards and forwards. Lachie.
Yes.
Now, most of you know Lachie. I'm sure they've seen you playing for a number of years. Maybe go back and tell us your history with the club, because it's quite interesting as a junior from the club.
Yeah, so I originally came to the club 13-year-old, lucky enough to win a junior premiership in the first year, which was nice. But so I was here for under 13s, played juniors here. Did my Colts over at up on uni, come back here, which was really nice. Got to play a couple of years here. Went over, played with Canada 20s, and played another senior season back here. Went over and played professionally with Yorkshire Carnegie over in England. Great. And then came back here. Admittedly played here for another club, which wasn't. We'll keep that quiet. But and then obviously 2021 came back to the club. Played 2021. That was a successful year again, making grand final, which was great. And then obviously this year as well, playing. So I think it's been about 4 or 5 years of seniors here, but obviously due to a lot of different opportunities, I've been able to go overseas and come back and stuff, which has been really good. But then I got home.
Thank you. Look, the reason why we've got the two gents here is because they've been selected in the Queensland Country team, which was a big thrill. This is your first both of you first experiences. Tell us what was the whole process like, because it's an intense competition you went into.
Yeah, even just to get into country was I think Paddy can agree, pretty intense. We did it I think what you could say the traditional way, so to speak. Played good footy here for Surface, obviously. Lucky enough to get picked for Gold Coast Cyclones. Went up to Sunny Coast, played in the South Queensland Championship. We then, from there, got picked in South Queensland, both Pat and I, which was, obviously that's big in itself. And then we had to travel all the way up to Rocky and then play. Yeah, not much to do with old Rocky. But played a few tough games there, great results, and then we're lucky enough to get picked in the Queensland Country side, which is obviously a massive honour. And from there we went to, this year was based up in Ballymore, up in Brisbane, which was really awesome, so heaps of friends and family could be there to support. And the country, Queensland Country, I think, it's got a lot of history with it, a lot of tradition, which they were definitely really reinforcing that into the whole squad throughout the whole tournament, which was great. And the tournament itself, it was a very physically taxing time on the field. Off the field, I think it was really good, us all being together as a squad. It helped kind of bring us all together and really rely on each other is what you need in those tough, dark times when your body's feeling a bit broke and you're missing home.
You mentioned 4 games in 8 days, and you said it was actually probably 6 days.
Yeah, it was more so like that, yeah. So first game was Wednesday, then we played Friday, had to back up Saturday, and then our final game was on the Monday morning.
So how do you cope with that? Were there ice baths or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, like there was, the Queensland Country team actually, our previous tournament down in the Battle of the Border against New South Wales, they brought in a strength and conditioning coach. So he was in charge of our full recovery, just getting, after every single game, it was get your kit off, ice baths, stretches, magnesium, BCAAs. So it was just he did everything to get us back up to scratch. And then he provided this new tech it's called normal tech. It's air compression gear, and he had the full setup. So it was actually quite nice because we would come back to our dorms and we had access to all of that, and it was actually seemed like proper professional and all that as well.
Well,
so
you'd certainly need it, wouldn't you? 4 games. And were you both playing the full 80 minutes, or were you? Maybe not.
He played more minutes than me, definitely. That's for sure. But I think my neck probably copped a bit more longer than he did. Playing in the front row.
There was. I mean, I will say one thing. The refs definitely loved their whistle. I mean, I'd probably refer them to our certification coach for a bit of a recovery doing this. There was. I could count numerous penalties, scrums. So definitely lucky shoulders that copped a bit of scrums.
Neck, shoulders, joints.
Okay, and Malin?
Yeah.
Sorry. He couldn't be here tonight. I think he's in Bundaberg Bundaberg doing some work. And a shout out
Alan
if he's watching at some stage. How did he go as well?
I mean, he obviously got the call to come in and all that, and
he got a bit late.
He got a call to come in, and honestly, the coach brought us all in, and he said, as a team, we have gone with more forwards, as in backs. So, as a back line or as back players, everyone was on a team sheet and all that. So, obviously, there was a lot of workload. I mean, not as much as Lockie's neck or shoulders and all that, but there was a lot of there was obviously that first game when we played at 11 a.m. or something like that, and this it was when I said scorching, it was blistering heat. Down Ballymore, it was hadn't played a game in about 7 weeks, and that first game was it was pretty taxing. It was tough.
Who did you play there?
It was Suburbs.
Oh right,
Suburban. Suburbs. And then I think it was a bit of a confidence thing for him, because he was obviously coming into the squad and saying because he didn't go the conventional way as like he was saying, he was coming with a bit of a
late notice.
Yeah, a bit of late notice. Had no
prep time.
Prep time, and didn't think that he really belonged there and all that. But it was really good because the coaches got around him, the boys got around him, because as a team in the healers, they were saying that like, if you're here, it's because the coaches believe you're here. Like believe that you're going to be here.
Was it you that was saying no? There's no imposter syndrome. Like,
Nah.
everybody deserved.
Yeah. Everyone everyone really deserved to be there, and like I think Milan really actually showed that because he ended up starting every single game.
Wow.
Played probably close to every single minute of the game as well, and so he really showed his class and really showed like what he was made of, and yeah, exactly.
See, this could be some great tips, couldn't it? You know, for a lot of other, upcoming seniors, but also a lot of juniors who are, maybe going into their first camp in the next year or two. Maybe it's just a Gold Coast squad, but then they might go on to.
Well, I know talking to the coaches and the managers and stuff, they had heard a little bit about him, but luckily because our grand final was streamed, they watched it and they were actually able to see Milan play. And that grand final, Milan played unbelievable.
Yeah.
Scored multiple tries. It was a really good asset for us. And I think that actually really helped. So it definitely proves that if you can, just playing really good footy for your club, opportunities can come.
Sure.
And he took it with both hands.
Yeah. Look, I think this is a really good point. I asked you about who impressed you most. Do you want to?
Yeah, no, I'll say it. To be honest, he's sitting next to me, so I thought Paddy, I knew he wouldn't like it, but yeah. But I thought he did really, really well. Paddy, he stepped in, again, it's his first time in Queensland Country, and he had to do a lot of tough work that probably might not get noticed as much as well. Again, there were some boys, Paddy's a pretty big bloke himself, but there was blokes a lot bigger than him. He had to make some real tough tackles, especially on the outside. Outside centre isn't exactly an easy position, not that I would know, but...
Come on now, you know
yeah, I do like to hang out wide. But yeah, so he had to make some really tough tackles on the outside, really man up, and he was always a person you could see whether you're on the sideline or on the field. He was always trying to G up and bringing that intensity and everything, whether it was the first minute or the 70th minute or 80th minute. And there was times you could see, and I know because the coaches had even said to me as well that you could see there was times where he was sore or like cramp was setting in or fatigue, and he just kept going. It didn't matter who was in front of him, what was going on, and it's a sign of obviously a really good football player, but also a really good person. So when times got tough, it didn't matter for him. He just kept going.
Right.
And that's stuff that as a player you're.
Let's give him a big hand. What stood out for you doing your first? I suppose I don't know whether you did large rep in New Zealand or this is your first time in a rep squad. So what stood out for you doing it here in Australia?
I mean, I think actually like a sense of like, because I've never been on like a full week camp. Like a full week camp is actually like quite a bit, especially like in this day and age when you obviously like provide like price for yourself and pay like bills and all that. Like this week camp is like the amount of like professionalism has been like pretty profound. Like it was, as I said, like the strength and conditioning coach. It was like there was times when you like took some recovery, training, and all that. Like that was really like a like turning point where I see like it was almost you could see like the glimmer towards like professional football. But it was like it was a definitely good stepping stone. There was definitely a massive like upgrade towards like football and all that, and like the boys, obviously the veterans in there, they're very welcoming. They're 100% like just get around the boys and all that. Because like me being as obviously a rookie and all that, I was put in the center position and all that. I was definitely like I'm obviously a decent voice within like the sixth grade team and all that. But like they said that like we are all game changers and we're all like decent players within our team and all that. It's just a matter of like bringing together like a collective amount of skills and all that to like make the little thing a little bit better. So I was just sitting there going like, I was a little bit in my shell a little bit and just sitting there as we had like the first like backs meetings, the first thing with coaches and all that. I just sat in my shell a little bit, but yeah, they came up to me and they said like, just like voice your opinions, and
Sure.
also like it was really good to see how players like that class like recognise you as well as like an equal or someone who like definitely like deserves to be there. So
Sure.
yeah, I mean like I would say that's massive.
The big learning point.
Yeah.
Look, this could be something for the future. I think, you know, in terms of getting anyone that does rep football to come back and talk about the opportunity. And I know you've got a lot of old hands, Stevie, and and the others as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's great to have it from somebody near their own age group as well.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's. I think Lachie was the one who pointed out to me. It's been actually a decent amount of time since I said that Service Paradise Dolphin has made the country team. So, I mean, for 3 of us to make it all in 1 year,
Exactly.
I mean, it really shows how our like establishment, our club is really like pushing the borders.
Really well regarded, yeah.
Really like how we have a really good system here, and we're like really like putting our foot forward and being like a really like found team around this progress area. So
Sure.
it's really nice.
So hopefully this is going to be something for the future in terms of maybe others recognise services being able to develop players and young men and women. Now, what I'll do is I'll throw it open to the audience because we've got so many here tonight. But if you've got a question for Lachie or Paddy, put up your hands. I'll just throw the next one. What's happening next year? So we've got Wales touring in June. And we're potentially going to do one of our sponsored, fundraising luncheons as well. But what have we got in terms of Queensland Country or Gold Coast Cyclones? Is there anything coming up next year?
I think we actually have a game in February. It's called the Battle of the Borders between us and New South Wales. So I'm not too sure where it was done in New South Wales last year. So I think they will kick up to us this year.
Yep.
So they have that around February, March, something like that. So obviously me and Lachie and Milan will trek down for that one.
Sure.
And then after that, it's I don't know.
I
Then
think it just goes through
back to
the traditional kind of
pre-season,
schedule really. Like, I'm not too sure where it's hosted that Australian Rugby Shield again, but I assume it'll probably be in a different state because last year was in Adelaide, so I imagine some other state will be taking their turn to host it.
Sure.
hopefully
Okay.
not Perth.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Perth.
Okay, over to the audience. Any questions? Stevie?
No. Well done making the cook down orchids.
Yeah, give him a hand again.
Another fellow countryman.
Obviously, a lot of things have changed since I was in there, like from 86 to 91, but you guys talking about ice bars and all this kind of stuff. We just went back and had beer and but times have changed now over nearly 40 years. And a lot of the stuff that's changed, like the coaching and all that kind of stuff, the management.
Yep.
Obviously, there's good management up there. And hopefully, you guys will bring back what you learned
Yes.
in the country back to the club and to the juniors, and just a little bit will help, So I hope you guys do that.
Definitely. I mean, Don actually called me today saying like, he actually asked the question you just said. He was saying that what's something that you have learned from this tournament that you can bring back to the club. I think me and Lachie definitely both agree that like there is something that us, obviously country players, not that we have like any other like assertive voice or anything like that, we can sit behind and see that as players, but can we also be like as coaches as well, like to like surrounding players and also players like below us as well, like in the seconds and thirds, so we can always sit there and say like just quiet and be like, bro, like run this line or do this differently and all that. And like it's sometimes it is also it's nice to hear it from like a mate instead of from coach as well, because sometimes you're a little bit down in the dumps and all that, and from a coaching aspect. But when you hear it from a mate who's been there and done that, but it's nice to hear from someone else besides the coach. So I would say that it's good to bring a sense of like professionalism to the club, and like hold yourself in high esteem, hold your club in high esteem, and like conduct yourself in a professional manner and all that. You know, so coming back from a tournament, it's definitely something I want to like assert within our club and all that
Right.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely talked about, and I think we were lucky that the Healers do have a lot of history. This club obviously has a lot of history as well, so there's a lot of similarities in that. So obviously, a lot of boys can bring back that whole pride for the jersey, that respect. You know, it's a privilege to play in the jersey. It's not a right, especially for like if you're playing first grade. And they spoke about it in the Healers as well. There was boys there that would be begging to be in the position we were in.
Sure.
So it's about obviously pride in yourself, pride in the jersey, and making sure that when you go out there, you enjoy it obviously, but also you represent the history of that jersey with so much pride, respect, and that's something you can bring back to the club and really install into the whole buzzword culture, but bring that into everybody here, that it's not just an emblem on the top of your heart. You know, it does mean something. Like you know, blokes like Stevie here who's played like probably 800 games or something close to that, give or take 200 or 300. And but that's massive right there, and that was something they were really enforcing into us. And it might not be something that people think, oh yeah, just pride in the jersey, but when there is those times of when you're sore, you're tired, you don't feel like getting up and playing. Like that game on Monday, it might have been against New South Wales, and we wanted to pump New South Wales, but your body in that warm-up, we're all in a lot of pain.
It's a bit flat.
Yeah, but I think going into the sheds, reinforcing that, you know, that pride for the jersey, you know, showing that respect, you know, even just for like your state as well. So for you, it could be for Social Paradise, it could be whatever. It does help pump you up a little bit, and it does obviously. You don't want to let that jersey down. Same with the club here. You don't want to let the club and the supporters down. I think that's something that, even if you're playing from Cyclones, South Queensland, or even if you're just playing first grade and then you have to play a game of seconds, that's something that can be transferred down any level of rugby that you play. And I think it's very valuable.
Very well said. And please join me in thanking Patrick Barlow and Lachie Currie. Before we go, we've got a shameless advertising plug, and Warren, you'll have to remind me, but we've got the Melbourne Cup lunch coming up on the second or the first Tuesday in November. I hope that's correct. We've actually got Faulty Towers. Can you believe this? We've got Faulty Towers coming in to do a dinner on the 9th of December. So if you haven't found out about that one, that's a hell of a lot of fun. It's guaranteed to jump in there. I think on the 2nd of December, you've got a special Christmas event. So if you're from a company and you want to have a Christmas party, but you're too small, or you think, how can we do it? Maybe come along, bring your staff along, and join in that on the 2nd of December. There's another one I've missed. Is it
Faulty Towers?
Faulty Towers? Mentioned that. Anything else?
Melbourne Cup.
So Melbourne Cup, we've mentioned it. So look, there's a lot coming on, and the pubs or the bars open most Friday nights, I think, throughout the season. So enjoy yourselves, come on down, jump into some of those events, and once again, give them a big hand. Thank you very much.